Security.
Secretary, if Iraq's President Saddam Hussein were found to be developing weapons of mass destruction, Governor Bush has said he would, quote, take him out. Would you agree with such a deadly policy?
We might have no other choice. We'll have to see if that happens. The thing about Iraq, of course, was at the end of the war, we had pretty well decimated their military. We had put them back in a box, so to speak. We had a strong international coalition raid against them, effective economic sanctions, and a very robust inspection regime that was in place, so that the inspection regime under UN auspices was able to do a good job of stripping out the capacity to build weapons of mass destruction, the work that he'd been doing that had not been destroyed during the war on biological, chemical agents, as well as a nuclear program. Unfortunately, now we find ourselves in a situation where that started to fray on us, where the coalition now no longer is tied tightly together. Recently, the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, two Gulf states, have reopened diplomatic relations with Baghdad. The Russians and the French now are flying commercial airliners back into Baghdad, and sort of thumbing their nose, if you will, at the international sanctions regime. And of course, the UN inspectors have been kicked out, and there's been absolutely no response. So we're in a situation today where I think our posture vis-a-vis Iraq is weaker than it was at the end of the war. I think that's unfortunate. I also think it's unfortunate that we find ourselves in a position where we don't know for sure what might be transpiring inside Iraq. I certainly hope he's not regenerating that kind of capability, but if he were, if in fact Saddam Hussein were taking steps to try to rebuild nuclear capability or weapons of mass destruction, you'd have to give very serious consideration to military action to stop that activity. I don't think you can afford to have a man like Saddam Hussein with nuclear weapons, say, in the Middle East.
Senator?